worthy, worthy are you, Lord. Worthy, worthy, worthy are you. From the depths of my heart, I give you all my worship. Worthy, worthy, worthy are you, Lord. Calling you worthy, whole earth sings. Singing from the depths of my heart. Faithful, faithful God. Faithful, faithful are you, Lord. Faithful, faithful, faithful God. Faithful, faithful are you, Lord. Faithful to redeem all the pain. Faithful, faithful are you, Lord. The whole earth sing. The whole earth sing. Mighty, mighty, mighty God. Mighty, mighty, mighty are you, Lord. Whole earth sing to the King of Kings. I lift my voice to crown you King and celebrate your majesty. You deserve my praise. You deserve my love. You deserve my heart. Oh Lord.
Not pregnant.
I'm what?
Not pregnant.
Oh, I'm not?
But I thought it was the 2 lines. You are pregnant.
That's not 2 lines? Are you reading the side of it? Because it says it on the side.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about in general. I thought you said 2 lines is pregnant.
That's 2 lines, babe. It's 1 on each side, just like the thing say.
Oh, then you are pregnant.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Wait. What? Wait, when did you take this test?
Today.
Wait.
Earlier.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. What?
Talking about you are not pregnant. I'm like, that is 2 lines. The thing tell you right there.
But no, because I'm used to like the COVID test where the lines are together.
Oh,
is
yes.
it two
No,
separate
it's not
bubbles?
like that. And you see how dark it is?
You pregnant? I'm over here just like, you are not pregnant. Nope. And just about to walk away.
Just gonna
I
walk
came in here
away
from
to look at your bag.
So how was you gonna know when I came in here?
I was just going to wait till you go to the bathroom.
You're pregnant?
I am.
Again? How
Again.
do you feel?
Excited?
Do you feel pregnant?
No.
That's crazy.
How do you feel?
I'm excited. I feel like it's a red stone to our plans.
No, because this was actually
That was.
the first plan.
We said get you pregnant by. I gotta look at it. I
May.
can look at it.
It was like we were supposed to get pregnant in May, I think.
Oh my God! It's like
So that we can have a baby in February, right?
right. I don't know.
So this was actually our first plan, and then I tried to renege on it.
Yes, the goal was to get pregnant now. I remember that.
Yeah,
Get pregnant now.
that's what's written down, and then I changed it.
And then you have to be in February. You might be back home. Oh wow.
All right, we're here with the Joneses and our very special guest, little no Zoe. Yes, hi, cutie. All right, so she's how old now?
6 months.
Wow, 6 months.
So we had previously been pregnant, and that was a whole thing, and it ended unsuccessfully for us. So we were just kind of getting through the emotions of that and looking forward, planning. We were talking about like trying again. It was the thought in our head. We had a plan, and then every time we tried to follow that plan, something would come up. We kind of just unsettled for like with the final proof of that. Like when we wanted to try again. So then we ended up, I guess you could take from there.
Yeah, so I was actually pregnant for 3 months before Noelle, and then, like you said, it wasn't a successful pregnancy, and then I got pregnant a month,
Something like that.
like a month or 2 months after that. So it was actually like, they call it a rainbow baby. So it was actually we was happy, even though it was like we was like, maybe we should wait. And then, we was like, we're not going to go through with it. But when it happened, we was like super excited, oh my goodness, we're pregnant again.
Yeah. So important detail is that with the last pregnancy, we never heard heartbeat, and they were telling us that in the beginning, that could have been because it was too early. So we had kept the hope, thinking, okay, maybe we came in too early.
Yes.
So when we had her, we were like, we are not going to the hospital until you're like 12 weeks. But then if there's a heartbeat, we know there's no such thing as too early. We were like, we're not going to go, not going to make an appointment.
Yes.
And then Michelle started bleeding. And so then we had to go before we wanted to go to confirm the pregnancy.
So what was that like? Now, so you're bleeding and you just had a traumatic experience. What was that like?
Kind of, hoping it's not the same thing that happened, which they did tell us when we went. They were saying, I got the ultrasound, and they were actually saying the exact same thing. They don't see a baby, nothing is developed there, and because they knew, the history, what happened, it was like so easy for them to be like, yeah, it kind of looks like the same thing.
Yeah.
And
that's like what he says. I'm 99% sure it's the same thing. Just come back in 2 days, we'll confirm it, and you move forward with the what's it called?
DNC.
DNC.
And 99% confident.
He was 99. He was confident.
He was like, I don't want to say it, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
He was like, that was it. It was like there was no room for hope. He wasn't like, maybe. He's like, come back to confirm. He's like, protocol. You have to come back and confirm it. That it is what that is.
And because I was pregnant a long time, 3 months, the last time, sick and everything, once they said it this time, I was just ready. I'm like, okay, well, let's come tomorrow and let's just get this over with. Let's have the surgery. I'm not waiting for 3 months again to go through a pregnancy that's not going to be a pregnancy. And, I was just ready to.
Yeah. And so then the thing is, we came back 2 days later. We were ready, ER, because we had to go through all this through the emergency room, and we had to come back to the ER to confirm it. But unfortunately, we didn't have any priority. We weren't priority like that. We were like watching the Marvel movies. We were just sitting there waiting, and then after maybe a long, 6
hours.
We watched 2 Marvel movies. So however long that
Wow.
is, we didn't have any help. So we decided to go home and try again another day, and that actually was good.
Very good.
Because it wasn't time for her to be sewn. And so we just left the emergency room. So we'll go back, and that probably was like a Saturday night, Friday night, and we ended up going back that Tuesday.
Yes, and again, we stayed, right? We just leave because it's like, okay, it's been 6 hours, and now, we out. But looking at it, we know for sure it was God. He wanted us to go because we believe that He really had the right doctor to see us.
Yes.
And so this time when I saw, because I did take the ultrasound and they didn't see anything, right? So this time when we went and I got the ultrasound with the doctor, we just laying there and it's just quiet. And she keep trying and she keep trying.
And I wasn't there, by the way, because we just assumed she was from the miscarriage. I was not there.
Yeah, she was not there. So, right, because that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why she taking so long? We already know it's nothing there. I'm telling you, I had no hope. I'm not even still let's hope it. I was just like, come on with it. Let's just get this over with. And, she first thing she said, she like, you ready to see your little nugget? And I jumped up. I was like, my what? And then I was just so happy, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, my what? And she was just looking. She was like, yeah, because obviously she could read the stuff and know that it's not what it's supposed to be. But she actually took her time, and I remember her saying she was about to stop. She was about to stop, and there's something. We know something. Holy Spirit just told her to check a little bit longer, and it only took after she was about to stop, it probably took her about another 50 seconds.
Wow.
And then she saw this.
She saw this one,
He
this
was trying to
little
hide.
nugget.
He was hiding.
You was hiding. And her grandmother kept saying she was hiding, right? I remember Tabby kept saying she's just hiding.
Yeah. Then, Lord, so we confirm it's a baby, right? We having a baby. But every single hospital visit, doctor's visit, whatever it is, every single visit that we had, prenatal appointment, it was something wrong.
Down to the first one.
To the first one. Like, every time we went, it was something new. Like they said, there's a possibility she could have Down syndrome. Something like her neck was enlarged. She could have an extra chromosome.
Michelle's body wasn't doing the right thing with her in it. It was just all kinds of stuff, like things that like I never been through this before. So I thought they tell you all the rest, and Michelle was like, no, they don't tell you all of this. This is all thing they,
Yeah.
So that was the first appointment, and then like you said, every single one after that, it was something different, new, and it was like it would always be a different issue, and then we would never circle back to the last thing. It just was like non-existent.
Yes.
So like the whole thing about her neck looks a little bit long. That's a sign of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Then we never circle back to that. They just you go to the next. We always had a different doctor. And they were like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We don't know. We don't see that.
Yeah.
And they tell us something else.
And they tell us something else. And then they went to like my body, like not because of the surgery that I had, the DNC. They were saying like, there's a possibility that there's extra tissue growing.
Well, there is.
So right.
Yeah.
And so it's cutting off the way she can grow. So then there's not enough room for her to grow. So then she might got to come out. We might got to take her out prematurely.
They're scared the tissue is going to wrap around her neck.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest scares that they put in our head. The tissue that they saw, they scared that it would wrap around her neck. So then Michelle had to start getting, you already had appointments being more rapidly, but then you had to go like
2 times a week. 2 times.
Twice a week.
Before she was even like.
Before she was far along.
No.
Yes,
Right.
I was not even far along at all, and I already had to go two times a week. And I had gotten in a car accident, like
While you're pregnant.
while I'm pregnant, and before I had to go, so my car completely totaled, right? So that was another scare. We had to go to the hospital for that again because I was showing, I was pretty big, and the impact was like so heavy on my side, so then I didn't have a car to go to all the appointments that I needed to go to make sure everything was okay. He was all the way in Virginia Beach at school, so it was a really rough season.
So, and you were sick as well, right?
I was so sick. I could not
Work.
cook. I couldn't work.
You couldn't
So
work.
imagine not being able to work. Your husband is in college, at school, and I'm home. I can't work. We still have every bill to pay, and we have a new baby coming. And I'm sick, so I cannot do anything. I'm not even cooking. I still got this one to take care of, even though she in the belly.
Right.
He's still here,
Right.
so I still got to be a mom to him, even though I'm like super sick. But he was so helpful. He
JoJo,
loved me so much.
how did you feel during that time when your mom was so sick?
That one time.
You felt good? You felt like she was going to be fine, huh? So how do you feel, JoJo, that now that you have this little sister at home? Yes, you feel something too.
I feel like I could, I have someone else to play with.
That's nice. Aww.
Yeah. So we get to the delivery room, right? After all these complications, I'm telling you, to the very last minute, it was concern.
Even in the delivery room.
Before we got to it, right? They're like, first they're telling us, your baby's so big. We're so scared. They're like, what's going to happen is we're going to try to deliver the right way, but then our hair might be too big, so we're going to have to do this. That was one thing they were telling
They
us.
also was saying, like, because I had a C-section with Joelle, but this time I wanted to try to push. And they just scared it out of me not to push. Or they was trying to scare it out of me. They said, her hair was too big. And sometimes because, they said she was a 10-pound baby, 9-pound baby, her shoulders might get stuck as I'm trying to push. It was just like so many different things.
The very last thing, so Michelle got ended up being induced. And as that process started, when things started to get more, quicker along, her heart rate kept dropping.
Oh.
Noelle's heart
dead.
rate kept dropping to the point where doctors and nurses were rushing in the room.
Like
And
5 at a time.
And we had to make a decision. They said, do you guys want to keep doing this, or do you guys just want to have the C-section? And we were not believing for a C-section because we didn't want the recovery process. That's Michelle. Michelle was so sick. It was just terrible. She was depressed, everything. So we were like, okay, we're going to have this baby. Of course, it's going to be a transitional time, but like not a C-section. Because you've been through enough.
Right.
And her heart rate kept dropping, and they asked us if we were going to continue, and they were saying that you guys can still go, but we were like, that doesn't, it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense, and we just wasn't feeling that. Like, we was on the same page. We just looked at each other, and we knew it was the right thing to do.
They weren't 100% on board, but they understood our decision. And then, right when they're coming to give Michelle with a C-section, our heart rate plummets down, and the nurse looks at me and says, "You guys made the right decision." And good thing because the OR was already prepped for her, so then they can rush her in too. Yes. And they told me, they said, "Okay, sir, we're gonna get you like 30, like we're gonna bring your wife in, we're gonna get you 30 minutes after." They're like, "You're gonna think that we forgot about you, but we didn't forget about you. It takes a minute, right?" So when they come get Michelle, they said they're gonna get me. I'm thinking, okay, I got 30 more minutes. They like rush to me 5 minutes after they get her. And like, come. I'm like, this is not what they said. So obviously I'm thinking it's an emergency now, but not too much if they let me be in the room. I come in the room. Noelle was almost halfway out. I'm halfway. It was a rush job, but she came out safely. Yeah. And so they got her out. They got her out very soon. Everything happened so quickly. It started off very slow, and before I knew it, I heard her just screaming, crying.
And that's a good sign.
Yes.
And as soon as I heard her crying, I just started crying.
Yeah.
I was just laying on the table, and I was just crying. I wasn't making any noise. Tears was just rolling down my face, and the doctor's like, "Are you okay? Ma'am, are you okay?" Like maybe they concerned something wrong. I feel some pain or something, and I'm like, I'm just like, just shaking my head. I couldn't even talk. I just like shook my head like I'm okay, but it was just like a flashback of everything that happened, before her, during her, and then now we're here and she's actually out. And then she came out 7 pounds. No 9 pounds, no 10 pounds, not even close.
We don't know where they got that from.
And healthy.
Nothing, ever since she first came out, there was never a concern from the pediatrician. She's just only been healthy. And it's just the total opposite of everything that was told to us.
Yes, I want Noelle to know that her middle name is tailored to her. I remember during the invaluable pregnancy, Elder Linnell would begin to speak life words over my belly. And then every day she would say like, "Hi Zoey, hey Zoey." And I remember asking her like, "Oh, you just think it's going to be a girl. You're already calling her Zoey." And she was like, "Zoey means life." And I was like, "Oh," and I just remember like it staying in my heart. And so then when it was time, when she came, God brought it back to my remembrance that Zoey meant life. And I just was like, "Babe, I think we should name her Zoey because of everything that she been through. It fits her perfectly." So I look back and I'm just like, that was so prophetic. Because God knew that there was never a baby there, that he was never forming a baby. But the baby that was coming a month later would need words of life spoken over her because people was already speaking death over her. And so, Noelle, I want you to know that as you get older and as you're growing and things are harder, that God has purpose for you here. He has called you here. And you just remember that weapons may form, but they will not prosper because God is on your side. And I love you.
We want her to know that her life has purpose, and so that she always knows that in the midst of hardship, to speak life into it because she was made from people, our community, speaking life to her.